Good morning, guys. It's your old Grandpa Coyote coming to you again, once again from Crestone, Colorado, here in the U.S. of A. And we're just, December 1 and we're partying away. Hey, hey. But it's a Saturday. The full moon's gone on the waning side. We can relax into a little mellower energy now. It doesn't have to be so intense. It's beautiful, and it's exponential, and it's expansive. Yeah, we're right there at the gates, man. The opening of truth, the age of truth, where reality, that is what we call spirit, and feel like it's separate from us, becomes our reality. And it isn't separate from us. We live in it. Okay, so you're going to need some help to get there. I've been realizing lately that, a lot of the reason why humanity's taken this long to get there is that we're kind of broken and scattered. And, there's a lot of people out there with a lot of different ways, a lot of different methods, a lot of different ideas of how it ought to be. And it tends to pull people and create conflict, pull people in different directions, create conflict, So what we got to do now is settle it down to the pure and simple and natural. So we create a base that everyone, no matter who they are, where they are, what they're doing, how they be, can fit into this common ground. It's the beginning, it's the basis from which we launch ourselves completely into the new reality. I would call it the keys to life. And I'd use the plural, not the singular. There's not just one key, there's several. And there's several doors to unlock here. But they're already opening to us anyway. So here's how you do what you do when you're doing it, that gets us all on the same level. So I'm just going to share some basics with you that pretty much go through all levels. And I'll explain them as I go along. And you're going to find your own variety of it. Because it's strictly a matter between you and spirit. Between you and the love in your very own heart. And your own individual interpretation of it. Even though, in a way, that comes from the collective too. We all make these choices, decisions, these acceptances together. The allowances that allow it to be. Even though it seems very individual in you when you're facing a choice. And when it comes right down to it in actual practicality, and as you're going to see as you progress into this space, this universal space of consciousness, you'll see exactly what I'm saying here, and you'll know. These words will ring true inside. You'll know how, not just see it in motion, but how it operates and why it does so. There won't be questions any longer. You'll be in the flow and you'll be feeling it. And it all just comes naturally to you. So here's the basis from which we launch ourselves into this reality. And if it's in conflict with what you're doing, don't worry about it. Follow what flows with you. And if this doesn't resonate with you right now, then do something different. There are no requirements here. I'm just trying to provide us some common ground from which to launch. So that humanity is conscious of the singularity within its own heart. So it knows the purity and can allow itself to move beyond the trash and sleaze, the shithole that we've lived in. And let truth rule here so that we do enjoy our age of peace, our golden age. So you ready now? Here goes. You step into it first. Now understand, this was taught to me strictly by Spirit. as I was going through my own process and healing. You can read more about that in The Atomic Bum. B-U-M. As in, it means hobo, or it could mean your backside too, the thing you sit on. But it's The Atomic Bum. It's I used a pen name there. It's Coyote Bear, B-A-R-E. Coyote starts with a K, K-O-Y-O-T-E. It's available on Amazon and all over the place. You can order it through your bookstore if they don't have it on their shelf. But that's where I describe some of the teachings I received in the mountains that have brought this to us. And I can bring it forward now in fullness. I've always been kind of shy and private about it. You know, I didn't want anybody to have to operate on the same basis that I did. I didn't want to be a preacher. Well, I'm not, so I got nothing to worry about. You know, I finally realized that it's something I should share. So here goes. You know, first, we need grounding. First, we got to be in a space where, you know, we can allow ourselves to be moved by spirit. A lot of us are in spaces where that just ain't consciously happening, and it's happening and you see the results of it, but consciously you don't see it in operation until in hindsight you perhaps can catch it there. So first we need grounding. This will help us awaken to the reality. So I've been shown. You get yourself alone. You can do this in groups and in circles too. So it doesn't really matter. You don't have to be alone. You can be in a group of 10, 12 people and sit down and hold hands and make a circle. You know, that's the basis of life anyway. So in all things that you do, be thinking of the creation of the circle. That is the basis from which all life arises. And it's also why we've gone into God's Donuts. It's Coyote Medicine, El Royale, let me tell you. It's because circle is life and life is circle. And there's always this place at the center that seems like a vacuum, and that's where the light is. And it's not a vacuum. It's the fullness of life creating the donut around it. I know. It's tacky, but it's true. The circle. So always think in circles. That's the basis. Now inside this circle there's flows and directions. So we ground ourselves in the center of that circle, even though we be sitting on the side of it as part of a bigger group, or we be sitting by ourselves and just are the circle is around us. We acknowledge the power of the directions that keep us in the center, that ground us there. So I just always say to the spirit power of the south, of the west, of the north, and of the east, from which we come, and the sky and the earth, all joining together in the powers, all joined together in the powers of this heart universal inside us all. That's kind of the words I use. You know, there's varieties of it, but as you're doing this, you create a visual picture inside. And this actually comes into your being, creates a resonance, a harmony that exists in harmony with everything else. You know, you find your particular level and place in it. Now, while you're doing this inside the circle, or as a part of the circle, you want to have your eyes closed, and you want to have the palms of your hands open, sitting in your lap, sitting alongside of you, but facing upward. Something like that. You'll be guided and directed, but just do what feels right to you first. But before you begin these salutations, get inside like that, you know, and be focusing here. This center eye in the middle of your forehead, this is your spiritual eyes. And you just kind of feel the energy there, you know, from inside of yourself while you're sitting there in the darkness of inside. Well, it's not so dark for most of us, but if it's dark inside, it's okay. Just be focusing on that place in the center of your forehead. And at the same time, feel the energy flowing down your arms into the palms of your hand. Feel that connection between the center of your forehead and the palms of your hand. And this is how you indicate to the universe that you're ready to receive. So that's the basis from which we come as we join into the circle. And if you've got hands joined with others, then you just feel the energy flowing through. You're joined palm to palm. So you feel the energy flowing through your palms. You will experience closer connections with those people in that circle than you've known in any area of intimacy or otherwise in your life. This is just how expansive the energy is now. And if you open to receive it, you're going to get plenty of it. And you're going to come to know one another in a whole new way, on a whole different level. And all this bickering and all this soap opera drama that we live in, going to take a hike. Because we'll know one another well enough not to play those games with one another ever again. It just won't even occur to us to be that way anymore. So you got the basis. You got yourself open. You got the old third eyes a-going. You got your hands open or joined with others. You're feeling the energy in the palms of your hand and the center of your forehead. And you're telling the 6 directions. Thank you for being here and being the collating force that holds spirit and love inside of me, the love of spirit, the spirit that is love, all together within me now. And thank you, you delicious little powers of love that are the powers of this heart universal inside us all. Like that. Then, and I literally see the picture of this. You may or may not as you begin it. But I literally see the energetic picture of this. And you can too. Just go there, be that, do that. It will open. Then next, I like to thank the angels and our ancestors and the enlightened beings of the Brotherhood of the Heart. I kind of, as I'm doing this, I see the angels over here, I see the ancestors over here, and I see the Brotherhood here at the center of my heart. And these are the unifying beings that have held it together for humanity while we went through our age of darkness, that have never let go of the love, that have kept it solid inside of us, even when it seemed to disappear. And that's why we've lived to tell about it, because of the activity of the Brotherhood of the Heart, which, includes most of us, if not all of us, here as humanity, and a whole lot others beyond us. But that's the Brotherhood of the Heart. And of course it's a sisterhood too. Don't take it as a male thing or a female. No, it's non-genderous. There's no gender in it. It's a brotherhood. It's a heart. So I thank those beings. And as I do that, I see them. I see the angels. I see the ancestors. I see the enlightened beings of the Brotherhood of the Universal Heart inside. You may just feel them. It doesn't matter. You go in stages and steps here, but they'll be pretty rapid now. It won't take long. So after I've gone through that, and I've thanked those thoroughly, then I do this expansive thing from the center heart here at the center of my chest, where I've joined all these energies and grounding powers. Then I expand that into thank you to all beings, energies, and powers that love and assist. And I see this huge circle. It comprises all of these beings, energies, and powers that do this. And then I step into that center of that circle. Glittering, glowing, loving light. All of the beings, energies, and powers that are working with you as a person, as a group, as humanity, as life itself. Step into the center of that circle. You do this from inside, of course. And you become one with all. And all is one. And you thank Great Spirit for your place of being here, for being in your heart and creating life through you and all these others too. and for the protection that's built in and all around you. And you'll see the rainbow energy of that too. It comes to you the instant you step into this third eye open palms of the hands thing. That protection's there right now. You can feel it. See, here's a little bop of it right now so you can feel that protective love. See that energy? It arises from inside of you, goes above you, and creates a huge rainbow circle around you so that you're completely protected from anything that might come in and harm you while you're doing these kind of things. And once you've thanked the Great Spirit, and you're here inside this circle of life, and you're working together either consciously or unconsciously with all of these beings, energies, and powers, these angels, ancestors, and enlightened beings of the Brotherhood of the Heart. I call them enlightened beings because I see them as light, golden light. They're beautiful. Someday you'll meet them too, right up face and personal. The guys at the center of the Brotherhood. There's a dozen or so beings there. They're awesome and amazing and powerful as all get out. And in fact, they're kind of like the gateway to life. Because it's through this heart and the Brotherhood that has kept it there that we come in to our personal state of being in full consciousness with all that is. Or, in other words, step into paradise, inside and all around us. Because when we're in it here, it's there everywhere. It's all you'll see, it's all you'll know, it's all you'll live. That's where these steps are leading. So that's the basis, that's the keys that'll help open you up and bring you into life. And again, I remind you, you're going to find your own variety of this. Let this knowing heart inside lead you. And what that means is what you feel is what you be. When that feeling comes forward from inside of this heart, let it come through all of you. It'll feel kind of tingly and sparkly. Just let it be. And wherever that leads you. And yeah, a lot of us have real busy minds. So the mind will be kind of fighting and resisting you. You know, there'll be all these thoughts coming up as you're going into these states of being and going through these personal thank yous to everything that is. As you're going through that, yeah, the mind might even argue with you a little bit. Just kind of separate yourself from that inside. You know, just kind of step back, pull away from the pole of those worrisome thoughts, and get yourself. You just let them flow by. You know, just don't be a part of them. Don't try to stop them. Don't suppress them, because those sons of bitches will kill you, and they will. This is where your cancers and your heart attacks and shit come from, is suppressed energies. So let those thoughts just come up and let them flow by, and ask them, you know, hey, let's just flow together. But basically, just let them flow by. You feel yourself getting pulled into that thought, you know, and it's kind of deep and it's a little dark. Just pull yourself back from it, you know. When you see yourself into it, when it's like, oh my God, what is Aunt Martha going to do with Harriet, you know, and her baby? You know, and then you go into all the possibilities. This is the kind of thoughts you'll get. It'll try to pull you away from everything. Just come back. Just come back. When you see yourself out there worrying about Aunt Harriet's baby or whatever, just come back. Be where you are. You know, when you're under personal financial pressure, stuff like that, love energies are going on, a lot of antagonism in your relationship with another, something like that. These worrisome thoughts will just try to pull you away and make you try to think of all these solutions. Again, you just back away and just let them flow by. Just let them be, you know. Just let them go out there and be the nothing thought that they are. They hold no energy. They hold no meaning and no purpose to you either. Because in your heart, as you're going to find, you already know. So that's kind of the process that you go through, and you find your own variety. But see, we're moving into some very engaging times now, where huge and tremendous openings come to humanity, and kind of all at once. And so you want to practice this a little bit before we get there, because this is the key, and the keys to opening those doorways, to be open in this way, to connect with one another in this way. And soon you'll find an arousal of your telepathic energies. You won't be having to speak so much to one another. The other side of that is you won't be consciously hiding anything from one another either. Truth is what it is, and when you're telepathic, you know everything about everyone and everybody. So we're moving into those kind of stages and steps, but we're doing so by kind of leaving the ego energy behind, the stuff that's made us want to take advantage of one another or lie to one another, cheat, steal, dishonor in whatever way. You know what I mean? We're moving into whole concepts beyond that, where such things just become unthinkable. But if you find yourself moving in that direction, just watch out for the judgments you hold on yourself. Back up. Make your apologies when you have to. Do what you have to do to set things right if you can. And if you can't, just back away. Give yourself the distance, the space you need. Remove yourself from anything in your life. And you'll find if you do this little exercise, if you keep yourself open in this, I call it tuning in. I don't like the term meditation because it's been so abused, just like the term religion and Christ and Buddha and all this other stuff. They've really been abused, and so I don't like to use that term meditation. It holds connotations with it, and this is not a meditation for real. This is a communion with the spirit heart, the one heart that's in everyone, everything, everybody, every blade of grass, every star in the sky, every galaxy, every little union or non-union in humanity, everything. It's in everything. One heart. So that means a singularity of consciousness too. You'll learn what this means if you don't know it already. And if you know it already, babies, don't think you're there yet, because you're not even close. You're just beginning to understand what it really is. Now, through communion like this, is where we come into the applications of the fullness of the heart. In other words, begin to live it. And it's no longer a philosophy, a theory, an idea, a belief, a religion. It's none of those things any longer. It's a reality that we live in. A truthful reality, where no one can lie and deceive us. So we don't have to worry about politics and religion and creatures from outer space. We become the all-knowing and therefore the all-powerful. But that's what that means. It's not like a font of ego. No. It's a simple, quiet, calm, and very loving thing that allows no dishonesty. You see into one. First, you're honest with yourself, of course. It takes a bit of time. And yeah, I'm still working on it. So are you. I don't care how elevated you are. Ain't nobody there yet. We're getting there. And this is how. So what you're about to receive now is some huge steps and leaps through consciousness. You got to understand first and foremost that we've really been held low. We've really allowed ourselves to go to some very dark spaces, and especially in recent times. The Dark Ages didn't end with the Renaissance. Hell no. That was just an indication of an opening, a beginning of sorts. We've been through a lot of them since then. Many of them. My generation was another one. They're just, the hippie thing. It's gone in stages and steps since the beginning of time. It's gone way down, and now it's just coming way back up. It's just the way it is. It's timing. It's what we do. It's how we live the linear time, but we're stepping out of that too. Another story for another time, but we're stepping out of that too. Realize, though, as you go through this process, there are no limitations. You'll have thoughts and ideas come to you that you should do something that seems beyond your conscious ability or experience. Like, say, you need to open a doorway in your life with another being who's been totally unresonating with you. Something like that. It's just miraculous to be able to communicate with a being like that as it is to move a mountain, believe me. So some thought, some earnest and sincere desire arises inside of you to do something like that. Well, you go into this state and you consciously project to that person through third eye, from your heart consciousness, of course, but through your third eyes here, and through the open palms of your hand, you project to that person who's been difficult this connecting energy. And you communicate with their higher self. And you don't have to use words to do this. Just convey a sincere intent to be in a state of peace with this being, for there to be settlement. And there it goes. Here it comes. It may not happen instantly. It may happen so quick that the phone rings soon as you set your hand down. Expect there'll be, when you're doing, a process, when you're coming into this state, expect there'll be some outside interference too, but not too much. These days it's changed so much that the distractions that used to come and try and grab you just won't be there anymore. You'll have your time, space to do this, to communicate actually with your own loving heart. That's where you go. But it'll take you everywhere else. And it'll show you what truth really is and how to apply it in your life. And why. And the wherefores and the where-tos and all of that. I mean, like I say, there'll be no question. It's the awakening of your inner knowing, of everything that is known inside of you. And baby, that's a lot more than what you've been educated out of, let me tell you. Education ain't shit compared to this. And all of your degrees and philosophies and out the windows, baby. It won't mean a cotton-picking thing. Because as you go through this process, you realize what a brainwashing process that was, Well, a lot of you, you're bright enough, have escaped the brainwashing aspects, but many don't. Look at society around us. This is why we got to change. And change quickly, rapidly. It's time, babies. It's time. Don't expect any disasters. Expect the undoing of disaster in your personal life and in this world around you. Don't talk to those who preach conscious fear, who come at you and try to arouse all the fear energies in you. If they're that far gone, let them be there. Let them have the fear. You don't have to doubt yourself like that any longer. Look, anytime you're engaged in a situation, and this takes some doing, I'm still learning it myself. But anytime you're engaged in a situation with any other being or person, this is how you can find rectifying energies and get in a peaceful state with this being and find some settlement there. Even if it's just inside of you and that other person is out of reach because they're so far gone into whatever they're doing. In yourself, speaking to the higher self and that other person, you will find this peace. And you'll find really that you don't have so many conflicts. The conflicts are a lie. You really and truly, on the basis of the heart, the one heart, are in agreement with all that lives. And nothing disagrees with you either. See, this is the kind of expansion you're moving into. You're going to live in a space like that very soon now. That's our reality, babies. And I've just given you the keys. Or helped awaken them in you. Shit, I don't give you nothing. I share with you, babies. And we all grow together. And we all are babies. So when I call you babies, I'm calling me babies too, because I am. Barely out of diapers. Maybe still in them, I don't know. I don't feel no pin sticking in my hip, so I must be all right. Babies, I love you. This is truth knocking on your door. Open wide. Let's go there. Let's receive. Let's be. Let's do. Let's create these circles of love all over the earth and practice together. And I know a lot of you, man, you're way beyond this stuff. You don't need it. But look, the simplicity in what I've just given you is where you want to be. And it doesn't matter really how you practice it. If you can just find the simplicity, that's why I've laid this out for you. Because it's through the simple that we come into the fullness of our being, that we make these transitions. Others will try to make it as complex as they can. They're going to pull up all these different beings and energies. They're going to try and distract you with a million different ideas of how it ought to be. But always look for the simple in it. Because that's where the love is. That's where the truth is. That's where the heart is. And through this simple basis that I've just helped establish within you. Yeah, I shared some energy with you. I did. I do. Always. Because I'm a gateway too. Just like you are. Humans are built to share. We are so loving. And as we find our capacity to love in motion, as it actually becomes our state of existence and being, and we don't have to live like this anymore, like we have been doing, it just grows. I mean, there are no limits. You find no limits to the sharing, caring, nurturing, personal broadening energies of love as they flow through you to others and from others to you. Yeah, that's Spidey energy, all right. Because we're all linked in that big old web, baby. You got the power because you got the heart. That's just the way it is. Babies, I love you. You rock my clock. We've made it. Don't have to die anymore.